What's up, guys? Josh here, just for a quick little, I guess this would be a FAQ video, but really it's just an update on Roto Turd, as I call it. Anyways, it was brought to my attention the other day when I had to move it from my apartment to my new house that the oil line was really high in the motor. And after doing a little bit of research, I found out that this isn't a very common topic to hunt around up on the forums and everything else to find out what is causing the elevation and of the oil line on your motor. Well, from what I gathered, it's two main things. But first, I'm going to show you actually how high the oil is on the dipstick and everything else. Alright, so as you can see down here, I need to put a new little cap on this thing because it fell off. But oil dipstick line, pull it out. Granted, the car has been sitting for a little bit, so some of the oil could have drained out of the oil cooler and everything else. But see how high it is above the oil fill line? The oil line, let me set this right here, see if I can't balance it. Whatever. Let's set it right there. So the oil line on the actual, well, I'm all up in my, is right about there. So you can see it's like a quart or so over. Probably more than that. No, probably about a quart over what it should be. And what I've read online, and from, I mean, obvious assumptions from how motor oil and fuel and everything else work, is it's two-stroke oil blow-by is the main cause for my motor. Now, there's two different types of problems that it could be. If your motor, if the oil is not black and burnt like mine, and it's milky, then it's a blown coolant seal, or somehow you're getting water into the system and that's causing your oil line to come up. But in my case, it's probably an oil side, or it's a side seal and an oil control ring that's probably worn and is starting to let go a little bit, and it's allowing the two-stroke oil to pass by and get into the actual motor oil of the motor. And from what I've read, this is a very common thing for anybody that premixes two-stroke oil with their rotary. And y'all are probably saying, oh, well, it's fuel dumping into the bottom of the motor, blah, 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 blah. Well, as you know, fuel evaporates at a very low temperature. It actually evaporates at atmosphere temperature. So if it's, right now it's 70 degrees in January, but if it's 70 degrees, guess what? Fuel is going to evaporate if you pour a pool of it onto the ground. So what that means is, even if it is fuel blow-by that is filling up the motor, as it sits here, not running, that should evaporate off and the oil level should go back down. This is also true when it's at operating temperature, which is, 180, 190 degrees. It's going to be boiling off, 10 times as fast. So that negates that whole theory right there. So it's either two-stroke oil getting blown by, or it's coolant or water getting into your system. Luckily for me, it's coolant, or it's not coolant, it's two-stroke oil, and I'm actually fixing to dump probably about a quart and a half out. So just thought I would give a little tidbit, information on something that I spent, about an hour or two researching and not really finding anything, and hopefully this helps somebody else out. Thanks. Happy brapping, guys.